a framework that benefits communities hosting mineral resources in Africa, Nigeria takes stand at G20 Leaders Summit.
Progress is driven in part by the fiscal policies introduced by the present administration.
Defense headquarters refutes cloned image of Chief of Defense Staff, alleging intent to forcefully recruit young Nigerians into the military. An African Women Conference wraps up in Ghana with renewed commitment to support women and children attain full potentials. Hello and many thanks for joining us on the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. We are broadcasting live from Abuja. I am Chinenye Oi. President Bola Tinubu has called for a global framework that benefits communities hosting critical minerals in Nigeria and Africa, ensuring value addition at the source. Represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, he made the call at the third session of the 2025 G20 Leaders Summit held at the Johannesburg Expo Center in South Africa. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
The demands are coming just as Nigeria also backed the creation of global ethical standards for artificial intelligence aimed at accelerating development across the world, highlighting that for Nigeria and Africa, critical minerals are more than natural deposits as they hold the promise of industrial transformation for the continent. The Nigerian leader stressed that while the possession of resources alone does not guarantee prosperity, relevant authorities must ensure that the extraction and trade of critical minerals are governed by fairness, transparency, and accountability.
Africa cannot realize the positive paradigm shift we seek in its development trajectory without a collective resolve of the G20. Together, we must confront the persistent regional challenges before us, most notably the urgent need for sustainable financing to ensure effective implementation of our developmental priorities.
The Nigerian leader further stated that as the world advances through green and digital transitions, progress must remain people-centered. On artificial intelligence, the president was emphatic on the task before G20 leaders, development partners and governments to ensure that AI remains a servant of humanity, not a force that reshapes society at the expense of those it ought to uplift, urging G20 leaders and partners to build a future where Africa is not merely a supplier of raw materials, but a continent of value creation, innovation, and dignity in work.
Nigeria has in recent times demonstrated its readiness for both foreign direct and portfolio investments. This progress is driven in part by the fiscal policies introduced by the present administration, all aimed at enhancing the ease of doing business in Nigeria. We are committed to establishing 1,000 active businesses in each ward in Nigeria, with a clear objective of stimulating our local economy through grassroots empowerment, skills acquisition, and job creation.
Nigeria also asked world leaders to come up with a more equitable and responsive system to manage global financial flows and address the recurring debt crisis in a manner that meets the needs of all nations. Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
The Defense Headquarters has refuted a circulating video depicting a mischievously cloned image of the Chief of Defense Staff General Lufemi Oluyide on alleged intent of the military to forcefully recruit young Nigerians from the age of 18 years into the military against their will. A statement by the Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Samaila Uba, says the purported statement was never made by the Chief of Defense Staff or any of the service chiefs and should be discarded by members of the public as a calculated attempt to undermine the high level of professionalism of the Nigerian military. The presidential candidate of the Accord Party, Chris Imumolin, says Nigeria's security challenges, from persistent attacks by armed groups to targeted killings that continue to shake communities across the country, can be overcome. Beyond the violence, he warns that growing evidence suggests some of these incidents may be more coordinated than they appear, emphasizing the pattern of attacks, their timing, targets, and intensity, which increasingly points to possible political motives.
Increasingly, it appears that some of these crises have been orchestrated as part of larger political agenda aimed at discrediting the current administration and destabilizing the country ahead of the 2027 election. Those behind this attack are not unknown. I believe our security agencies have the intelligence and capacity to identify sponsors and the financiers, those masterminds of these acts. These individuals are deliberately inflicting pains on our country.
The Lagos State Police Command says its attention is drawn to publication in some sections of the media and to an interview on a public television that Lagos Police Commissioner defies court order on Nestor Oil premises, describing it as untrue and a clear misrepresentation of facts capable of misleading the public. A statement by the Command Police Public Relations Officer SP Abimbola Adebisi says the Lagos Police Commissioner respects the laws of the land in all circumstances and is under strict obligations to abide by orders, decisions and pronouncements of every court of law throughout Nigeria. The police gave clarification on the matter, stating that setting a court order was received by the Lagos State Police Command in respect of Nestor Oil premise on Thursday, 20th November 2025. The court order was promptly attended to and sent to the Police Legal Department of the Lagos State Police Command for verification and confirmation of the authenticity from the issuing court. The response to the confirmation was received in the evening of the 21st of November 2025. Subsequent to this, all police personnel in the premises were withdrawn immediately without any further delay in compliance with the court order on the same date of 21st November 2025. The statement adds that the Lagos Police Commissioner never stepped on the premises of Nestor Oil on the 20th November 2025 and on 21st November 2025, that the roles of the police are limited to giving protection to the court sheriff as they carry out the enforcement of court orders and maintenance of peace, law and order during the process. There was no time when the police prevented this process. And the Lagos State Police Command has reiterated readiness to unleash crime detection initiatives aimed at proactively nipping organized crimes in the bud in any part of the metropolis. Commissioner of Police Olondare Jimo disclosed this when he visited the Executive Secretary of the State Security Trust Fund in Lagos. Musa Toliat completes the report.
By the Commissioner of Police Olondare Jimo underscores the importance of working closely with the Lagos State Security Trust Fund so that deficit in logistics to enhance police crime fighting efforts can be quickly identified and effectively addressed.
Crime prevention and control, new models have been introduced across Lagos State that put nib in the bud all forms of crimes and criminality. And we have prompt detection in place to ensure that those crimes that could not be prevented are promptly detected. And it is in this area of detection of crime that we'll still be needing your support in the new area as we open a new leaf, as you are coming on board, because any who would be criminal or any suspect that know that is going to be promptly arrested will not contemplate committing such a crime.
Executive Secretary, Lagos State Security Trust Fund, Dr. Ayodele Ogunson, reassures the Commissioner of Police that the fund will improve response infrastructure and activate rapid funding mechanisms for critical equipment for the police command.
I've had the opportunity of speaking to the governor on 2 occasions about you, and he said, forget police command. So I was trying to look at him and say, what's the meaning of that? Is it that they are bad people or they are not people he wants to think about? Then I asked him directly, and I told you, CP sir, he said to me very clearly, he said, with that man there, I don't get myself worried. And that, to me, is a big testimony. Sir, thank you for all you do. And I want to assure you, sir, that under my own leadership as well, I will support those initiatives of yours that will promote and foster, very productive outcomes that will make the relationship between the police and the residents that we serve more enjoyable.
Discussions between both agencies also include effective security during the Yuletide, when Nigerians in diaspora and within converged on Lagos for vibrant celebrations. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
And the Benue State Police Command says it has busted a criminal hideout and recovered stolen motorcycles and firearms. A statement by the command's public relations officer, DSP Edet Udeme, indicated that the police raid followed a distress call regarding a reported stolen motorcycle tracked to a compound along Judge Akume Way, Makudi. Upon entry into the premises, the police cited 11 suspected stolen motorcycles, 47 motorcycle seats, fuel tanks, criminal charms, 3 mattresses, 1 single-barrel firearm, and other items. 2 suspects escaped but were captured by members of the public and lynched before the arrival of the police. They were later confirmed dead at a medical facility. The state CID has taken over the investigation. This is the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. We'll take a break here. There will be more reports when we return. Do stay.
Legendary final sale of the year is here. This festive season, enjoy extra savings on luxury and comfortable sofa sets, modern and functional dining sets, sophisticated and smart bed sets, and our royal collections, classy, premium, and truly exclusive. Shop 10 million Naira and receive a complimentary Daisy tea set. Spend 15 million and take home a 65-inch smart TV. Go higher at 20 million and experience unmatched comfort with our exclusive massage chair. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online. It's big, it's bold, it's unforgettable. It's Baffy Furniture's legendary final sale of the year.
And the National Productivity Order of Merit Award goes to... The only tomato paste manufacturer to win the National Productivity Order of Merit Award by the Federal Government of Nigeria, endorsed by the Association of Private Medical Practitioners of Nigeria. This is an evidence of 100% natural goodness, great quality, and great taste. So eat healthy to live longer. Use a Risco tomato paste and products. 100% natural tomato. Better food now. Buy now and enjoy up to 20% discount.
This is NTA News 24.
Many thanks for staying on. Advocates for gender inclusion have renewed calls for the passage of the Women's Reserved Seat bills, saying the law is crucial to boosting representation in governance and strengthening the fight against gender-based violence. This dominated conversations at the Women of Words While 2025 All Creative Hub, organized in Abuja by the Gender Strategy Advancement International, with the theme, All Reserved for Reserved Seats, the role of women in policy making towards ending gender-based violence. Joseph Otsen reports.
Advocacy for reserved seats for women in the Nigerian legislature has been ongoing for many years as part of a broader push for gender inclusion in politics. The move intensified last year after the Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu and 12 other members of the House of Representatives reintroduced the bill.
Advocating for the special seats.
Today, gender inclusion advocates like Adora, Sydney Jack are amplifying their voices.
It thrives where women's voices are weak, where representation is thin, where policies are blind to the realities women live every day. And so this is why for all of us working the journey, advocating for the special seats, the reserved seats for women's bill, it is not a political proposal, it is a lifeline.
Look at those
cultural and structural barriers that keep women away from participating. And part of why this is ingrained is that we have seen politics. Our politics generally is exclusionary.
The Reserved Seat for Women bill proposes the creation of additional seats exclusively for women in both the National Assembly and State House of Assembly. Specifically, it calls for 37 new Senate seats, one for each state and the Federal Capital Territory, and 37 additional House of Representatives seats.
To build a Nigeria where women are not guests in policy making, where they are the architects, where women do not wait for invitations to leadership, but they occupy and transform the seats.
Nigeria will be stronger, safer, and more inclusive when more women contribute directly to shaping our laws and public institutions.
Is a reminder.
Advocates like Adora believe the law is crucial to boosting representation in governance and strengthening the fight against gender-based violence. In Abuja, Joseph Otsan, NTA News.
Co-convener of the African Women Conference, Dr. Jume Amadou, says the movement is already yielding results, amplifying voices for gender inclusion across African nations and restoring hope for hundreds of vulnerable women and children through mentorship, business support, and leadership development initiatives. Dr. Amadou spoke as activities wrapped up at the 2025 Africa Women Conference in Accra, Ghana. Lucia Adeabo reports.
Africa Women Conference Ghana 2025 held under the theme Legacy Meets Innovation, Women Forging New Pathways for Africa's Sustainable Development, reviewed progress recorded across the continent in advancing inclusion and protecting the rights of children, especially the girl child.
The women and leaders of Africa have sacrificed.
One of the standout voices was Queen Aisha Tlaou, the Little Miss Kogi, whose message resonated deeply at the conference. Key resolutions adopted by delegates include increased investment in girls' education and STEM, expanding the use of technology to resolve local challenges, stronger advocacy for policies that uplift women across Africa.
All our conferences, each time we leave, in less than 6 weeks of the conference, we start actionable steps that will enable us to have tangible results. Came to Zambia last year, we talked about the AWC Technology Hub, and 100 women from across 39 African countries are currently undergoing this program online.
So seeing the women who are older than us, being in politics, in governance, in the corporate world, standing up for the women and also the girl child, right? It has reinforced and, re-energized my confidence.
I also particularly like the young lady from Nigeria who has lobbied for more women to be in parliament. And I think that is a phenomenal initiative which is needed Africa-wide.
All those gender myths that were thrown up, we have to come out and advocate, lobby our gender-friendly brothers and sisters. We are not competing, we are only complementing.
We interact, apart from even the interaction, a lot of networking.
Delegates there highlighted their gains and renewed their commitment to turning the 2025 AWC resolutions into measurable outcomes, advancing the cause of gender equality to a desired level of excellence. Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
The International Community School, ICS in Abuja, marked UNICEF's World Children's Day with a vibrant celebration that brought together more than 700 students, over 600 parents and caregivers, community leaders, media representatives, and child development stakeholders. Hekemini Williams reports.
The event, themed Listen to the future, stand up for children's rights, highlighted the school's commitment to amplifying young voices. Students representing 41 countries, including USA, Canada, Togo, Ghana, and Colombia, took part in a cultural tour that displayed traditional attire, cuisine, and flags, while children's parade and funfair added to the festive atmosphere. The school's proprietor praised the day as a powerful reminder that every child deserves to be heard and protected, echoing UNICEF's global message that World Children's Day is a day of action for children by children advocating for their rights.
And every family needs this, atmosphere of celebration, conviviality. We just allow the children to be themselves.
We don't know what's in them until they speak out. And they are always amazing us. They understand more than they know more than they perceive. We believe they have so much, and we want to get it out.
Parents and community leaders used the occasion to reaffirm their support for child empowerment initiatives.
International Children's Day is to bring together all the different cultures that we have in the world. It educates the children about the diversity, that we have in the world, on the planet. It brings inclusion.
What better way to prepare them to understand that it's a global village, we are diverse, but there has to be unity in that diversity.
The celebration concluded with a pledge to continue fostering inclusive spaces where children can express their dreams and influence positive change. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
This is the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Let's take another look at our major stories. Draw a framework that benefits communities hosting mineral resources in Africa. Nigeria takes stand at G20 Leaders Summit.
Progress is driven in part by the fiscal policies introduced by the present administration.
Defense headquarters refutes cloned image of CDS alleging intent to forcefully recruit young Nigerians into the military. In Africa, Women Conference wraps up in Ghana with renewed commitment to support women and children attain full potentials.
This is NTA News 24.
For decades, internal rifts within Nigerian communities have occasionally hampered collective progress on national development. In Abuja, a counter-narrative has emerged at the 11th edition of the I-Umar Peace and Unity Convention, where hundreds of Islamic scholars have convened to forge a united front, not just for faith, but for the nation. Sheikh Mohammed Dati reports.
The true measure of a nation's strength often lies in its internal harmony. These are scholars representing diverse Islamic traditions with a single mission under the theme, the role of knowledge in building faith and empowering lives. The convention is a watershed moment, not trivializing differences, but prioritizing a common destiny. The message at the convention is a commitment to peace education and a vigorous campaign against all forms of extremism.
The Muslims who have been the greater casualties of, or the greater victims of insurgency in our nation, unfortunately, we suffered two tragedies. There is the tragedy of insurgency, and there is also the tragedy of global neglect. Because as victims, they are not articulate enough to narrate their pain and their suffering.
The dialogue was intensive, with a key resolution centered on integrating traditional and Islamic leadership structures with modern governance to enhance grassroots security and prevent radicalization, a response to the enduring challenge of insecurity in the Northwest and Northeast.
Where a Muslim holding on to his religion will be like holding a hot coal, a burning coal. And this is obviously the time that we are witnessing today. Muslims are being attacked. Islam is being attacked day in, day out. Muslims are the victims in so many places, but unfortunately they are being blamed. Many marriages break, not because of infidelity, but because of emotional invisibility. A wife speaks, a husband nods, but he doesn't listen. A husband opens up, the wife interrupts or dismisses.
Delegates expressed cautious optimism, acknowledging that through unity requires sustained effort beyond the conference. In Abuja, Show Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
And that's the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Many thanks for watching. I am Chinenye Oi.